October is Hispanic Heritage Month, and ABC News Live is celebrating with some traditional food and a James Beard-nominated author. Karla Tatiana Vasquez has made it her mission to find and preserve Salvadorian recipes while honoring the women who keep the traditions alive. Vasquez started writing the SalviSoul Cookbook a decade ago with her grandmother. Now she tells our Stephanie Ramos she's hoping the book honors her abuela's memory and inspires others to dig deeper into their culture.
When did this idea for a cookbook come about?
Oh, wow. I mean, I think it started in mid-2015. I wanted to be able to cook the meals that I grew up eating as a child. And I really wanted to feel rooted. I really wanted to feel grounded. And assimilating in a way where we have seen before didn't feel like an option for me. I felt I needed these recipes as much as I needed to know my own name, and I've been able to do that. It makes me so happy when I learn of others who have said, I know what that feeling was like, and I also needed to know these recipes. And it's a very beautiful feeling to know I've been able to do that for myself and others.
So how did you wrap your mind around all of these different recipes and decide which ones would go in the cookbook?
It was an experience that I don't wish on anyone, because there was a lot of negotiating with a lot of moms. And if you know anything about cooking with an immigrant mom, there's their way and then there's the wrong way. And there's no in between. And there's no, we're gonna hold your hand and make you feel good. And you know, I think a lot of times in this culture, like here in the US, we think of the cooking and the kitchen as this very romantic place where you find yourself and it's sensual. And you look at immigrant moms who've been cooking, and it is a place of industry. It is a place of, like, there are blades, there's fire, there's hungry people, like there's efficiency, there's urgency. And so it was a huge task. And, you know, as I was recording some of them, it was also, the pandemic was happening. So sometimes I would just have them take a photo of whatever receptacle they were using as a measurement, because sometimes it was really like a mug was the actual measurement, the metric. And so I would take a photo and then look at the mug and see what mugs I had in my kitchen that looked similar, and then put liquid in that mug. And it was a whole reverse engineering process.
You write in the book you were yearning for home and healing. Have you been able to find that with this book?
Oh man, yes. Tenfold, I feel. I mean, this book took me 10 years, and it took a while because of the emotional pain I was trying to sift through. I started this project with my grandmother, and I asked her, like, Ma Lucy, do you get what this is? Do you get what I'm trying to do? And she quickly understood. She said, Karla, esto se trata del legado de la mujer salvadoreña. She said, this is about the legacy of Salvadoran women. And I love that. And then throughout the project, my grandmother passed away. And I really, it took time to unpack that grief. I don't think that this book it needed to be a cookbook, and it needed to have been done the way it had in order for me to understand and to heal, truly heal.
Yeah, and you did that. You should be so proud. You really should. This is so much more than a cookbook. It's rooted in culture, in tradition, but we won't just find recipes from your grandmother and your mother and in your family. There are a collection of stories in this cookbook, right? A collection of recipes.
Yeah, it's a collection of 25 women, and each of them has their own POV of what Salvadoran cuisine and culture is. And I'm so grateful for their stories. I feel like every immigrant has an odyssey to tell, because if you have left your homeland, that already makes you the hero, the heroine of a story, and everything you do between now and then is an epic tale. And so what I really tried to hone in on were moments and little snapshots of something that happened and who were these women in those moments. And hopefully that gives you a picture of how they lived their life. because I could not tell their story because it's not my whole story to tell, it's theirs. But I wanted to show a snippet of who they are and how they're walking this earth.
Well, you've certainly paved the way for other authors and for others who want to highlight their culture and traditions like you so beautifully have done in this book. What does your family say now that SalviSoul is out there?
I'm very grateful that they have been so open. I know for many, family histories are something that's too tender or too sore of a conversation topic, and I'm just so grateful that with my parents we've been able to manage that and to really, everyone feels lighter at the end of it. So that's all I can really hope for and ask for when you've gone through such a traumatic experience as many Salvadorans immigrants have.
Yeah, and I mean, and you were saying earlier how, I love how you said that every dish is combined with a story. You'd gather together with your family and exchange these stories as you were nourishing your physical body. Is that what you want others to take away with when they look through this cookbook? Is that something you want them to recreate with their own families?
Absolutely. I think sometimes we take it for granted that there's a real key that unlocks a part of us when we are eating together. And I also think it's just fun, you know. We have chambre or chisme, and it's a fun thing that makes us feel more light. I think when you can create pockets of play and you so happen to also be eating something very delicious that's rooted in your own culture, I think there's something really exponentially beneficial to you and your well-being.
Our thanks to Stephanie Ramos for that interview. And you can scan the QR code in the bottom left corner of your screen to shop more of this Hispanic and Latino Heritage Month.